weiß, ihr fahrt alle eure Good Life Filme, hä? Celebrate your good life. Na Digga, fuck it, skip den Track besser. Ich fühl mich schon ewig nicht mehr frei, denn dieses Leben hängt mich ein, fuck it. Jedem Mensch, den ich nicht kenne, sehe ich einen Feind sogar. In jedem Menschen, den ich kenne, sehe ich einen Feind. Die Komplexe kicken hart in dieser Zeit.
Wow, okay, so yeah. Harte Texten, direkt am Anfang. Ich fühle nicht mehr frei. Interesting. So, I think he mentioned something in a stream or a post that he wasn't liking his music lately, the music he was making, like personally, like his own self-critique. And so this might be like kind of like a real talk response, which is so cool if you think about it. It's so meta to put out music, voice your like distaste to your own music, and then respond in the music to the distaste of that music. And really what he's creating is this like ever-flowing evolution, evolving organism of his Kunst, which is it's a really beautiful thing if you look at it like that. But to zoom back in on the text, he's talking about he feels like he's not free, which there we go with the Matrix already.
Skip den Track besser. Ich fühl mich schon ewig nicht mehr frei, denn dieses Leben hängt mich ein, fuck it. Jedem Mensch, den ich nicht kenne, sehe ich einen Feind sogar. In jedem Menschen, den ich kenne, sehe ich einen Feind. Die Komplexe kicken.
So everybody that I meet, everybody that I know is an enemy? That's not healthy. If that's what he's saying, of course, so that could be an issue.
Hart in dieser Zeit. Und manchmal frage ich mich, ob es richtig war, ein Kind in diese Welt zu setzen. In der Welt, wo die Wälder brennen und Gletscher schmelzen. Wo die Menschen nicht mehr viel verstehen von Menschenrechten. Wo man nur von Geld besessen ist und wo es kein Happy End gibt.
Oh fuck, dude. Jesus, yeah, man. That So, big issue, and it's something I think about too, man. Like, is it... And this is debatable, right? It's like... Is it just... is it justified to bring a kid into this world? And then there he goes. He lists all of these kind of like doomsday, I would say arguably clickbaity articles. But they are highlighting pretty serious events like the pandemic, the war, what is this? The migrants. What's that say? Yeah, the genocide. that's going on in the Middle East and Indonesia and China and blah blah blah. But I would just say counter that with has that stuff always been going on? The answer is yes. And actually, over the past 100 years, we've seen a big increase in quality of life all around the world. And so it depends how you look at it. And so I hope Jay can kind of take a more optimistic approach. Sometimes he's subscribing to what would be considered a nihilistic school of thought. Everything is bad. Everything is destructive and depressing. Let's see where it goes with
Menschen nicht mehr viel verstehen von Menschenrechten, wo man nur von Geld besessen ist und wo es kein Happy End gibt. Keine klare Sicht, weil sich alles dreht. Kein 5 vor 12, nein, es ist zu spät. Und während kleine Kinder grad in Wellblechhütten meine neuen Nikes nähen, flipp ich aus, weil zu Hause grad mein Internet nicht geht. Kauf mir Klamotten, die mehr kosten als...
Wow, yeah, dude, damn, dude, that's the shit, man. He said... Talking about like the Nikes, like he's comparing, look, this picture of him with his fresh white Nikes and these kids carrying, I don't know what the hell, all their stuff, I guess. They look like migrants, in reference to the Middle Eastern migrants he was talking about. And he's like, how can I flip out about my internet when these kids don't have a home? And so, yeah, man, that's, I'd say that's something I think about too a lot. And I probably a lot of us, just kind of reconciling the privileges that we have, and like you can't beat yourself up over it, but also you can't take it for granted, and it's really hard to find the middle ground. It's really hard to find like the balance in between those two schools of thoughts, and sometimes you could be really depressed about it, sometimes you can be depressed for the wrong reasons about it. It's like it's a mind fuck, and I guess that's what he's saying here.
Meine neuen Nikes nähen, flipp ich aus, weil zu Hause grad mein Internet nicht geht. Kauf mir Klamotten, die mehr kosten als die Miete, doch warum zum Fick stellt mich das zufrieden? Hä? Diese Scheiße ist mehr Schein als Sein, ich seh Verzweiflung hier weit und breit, ja nee, ist wirklich so. Schlagalarm, SOS, bevor die Welt hier weiter untergeht.
Nice, dude. That's I really like the song already. I like it for two reasons. One, because it's a big change, it's a big switch up from like the songs he's been putting out recently. Not that they have been weak, but they've been, I would say, they haven't been really. I guess the message hasn't been as compelling. And then two, this really reveals a lot about Jay's maturity and perspective on life, and I would say it's a very enlightened one. And if we're, back to how we started the stream on, influencing and affecting like the minds of youth, this is great, man, because he's really asking a lot of questions about like, the privileges of like growing up in a Western society, and just being aware of it, and just going through that mindset, and is ultimately practicing gratitude. And I love that. I think it's so wholesome. It's so good. I really like this song. It's a lot of respect for him. That he can kind of have this view.
Sag, was haben wir denn hier nur getan? Bitte sag's mir. Schlagalarm, SOS. Sag mir, wann wachen wir aus der Matrix auf? Keine Liebe, kein Herz, nur Tränen und Schmerzen. Bitte sag's mir. Bitte sag's mir. Bitte sag's mir. Bitte sag's mir.
Hook is good too. I don't know who this guy is, SOULCHA, but I like his voice. I like what he's bringing here.
Man, ich lieg am Strand in Italien und stell mir vor, wie's wär, jetzt aufs Main auszufahren. Mit nem kleinen Boot und mit 46 anderen, von denen die Hälfte kaum noch atmet. Doch dann denk ich lieber an das schöne Lokal mit dem Fahnenmast, enter wie ein deutscher Touri ordern.
So, just talking about, vacation in Italy and on a boat, everything's beautiful and perfect. Let's see where it goes with this one.
Guavensaft, Frutti di Mare, Pfefferwohre und die Scampi knackt. Blau ist der Himmel und goldgelb die Ananas. Mit welchem Glück bin ich gepriesen? Aber Frage, darf ich das noch genießen? Ja, und Frage, kann ich das denn überhaupt?
Wow, yeah, so... Yeah, man, again, that's a big question. It's like, do you... I didn't think about that, a refugee reference. How he's on a... Right, so he's on a boat. Let me go back and listen again. Are you sure about that? Is he saying that he's on a boat enjoying, the fact that he's on a boat, and others are on the boat trying to escape, like, the hells of their, their country? But then he said, do I even deserve, like, darf ich selber genießen diese Lage or something like that? Like, do I even deserve to enjoy this vacation? It's a big question, man. It's a big question. It's like, what, like, yeah, that's a very deep question.
Die Ananas, Bohre und die Scampi knackt. Das schöne Lokal mit dem Fahnenmast, enter wie ein deutscher Touri ordern. Guavensaft, Frutti di Mare, Pfefferwohre und die Scampi knackt. Blau ist der Himmel und goldgelb die
Oh, sorry, he was before here.
Hälfte kaum noch Atem am Strand in Italien und stell mir vor, wie's wär, jetzt aufs Main auszufahren. Mit nem kleinen Boot und mit 46 anderen, von denen die Hälfte kaum noch atmet. Doch dann denk ich lieber an das schöne.
It is. I think it is. It's a word. It's not a wordplay, is it? It's like a. What the heck is that? It's like a is it a metaphor, or is it a He's saying like the other they can't breathe, right? And so I think he's just like he's juxtaposing like his two positions, like one on vacation, one they're like escaping their country as refugees. And I think you say you can't breathe, like kann nicht atmen. Don't you say that when you're smoking like a lot of weed? Isn't that like a thing you say, like you're gassed out, like something like that? And then again, of course, the other is that they're refugees and they're so crammed onto this boat and they're being suffocated by each other's like body masses, compressing against one another. Is that what he's saying?
Lokal mit dem Knack, blau ist der Himmel, ich gepriesen, aber Frage, darf ich das noch genießen? Ja, und
yeah, darf ich das noch genießen? That's powerful, man.
Frage, kann ich das denn überhaupt hier noch genießen, während auf dem Meer, auf das ich blick, Menschen krepieren?
Well, what do you say?
genießen, während auf dem Frage, darf ich das noch genießen? Ja und Frage, kann ich das denn überhaupt genug genießen, während auf dem Meer, auf das ich blick, Menschen krepieren? Hä?
What do you say, dass ich auf dem Meer blick, Menschen kapieren?
Noch genießen, während auf dem Meer, auf das ich blick, Menschen krepieren?
Okay, it's about refugees.
Hä? Ja, die haben richtige Probleme und ich fick mir wegen Klickzahlen den Schädel. Mann, ich fick mir...
Wow. Yeah, dude, that's like... He's like saying, like, how can, like, if there's this shit going on in the world, how can I even get stressed about, like, you know, my views? How can I get stressed about my Klickzahl? How can I get stressed about my fucking YouTube channel, which, it's a privilege to have a YouTube channel, you know? Compared to this, compared to when you know, when you're talking about this stuff.
Fick mir wegen Klickzahlen den Schädel. Mann, ich fick mir wegen Spotify und Instagram den Schädel, Alter, das müsstest du denen mal erzählen.
Wow. What a perspective. I just, like, you know, my respect for Jay is groß. It's huge, man. I mean, just to say things like this, it's so important. It's so important that we do practice moments like this, I think. Man, it's a good song.
Schlagalarm, SOS, bevor die Welt hier weiter untergeht. Sag, was haben wir denn hier nur getan? Bitte sag's mir. Schlagalarm, SOS, sag mir, wann wachen wir aus der Matrix auf? Keine Liebe, kein Herz, nur Tränen und Schmerzen.
Yeah, man. And then just, like, think it back to, like, he's talking about the sun in the beginning. Like, it's... I don't know, man. You gotta... It's just, like, I think it's, like, basically a classical argument of, like, ignorance is bliss. And, you know, too much knowledge will drive you mad. It kind of ties back into what we were talking about with Kollega in the beginning. If you're too skeptical, if you are aware of all these things going on, you kind of just get depressed and sad. You just start going insane thinking about, like, all the bad things in the world and all of the corruption and all of the murderers and wars that are going on for no reason. It's and you just think about, like, when you're 10 years old, 12 years old, you don't even know about any of this stuff, and it's like life is great, you know. And what's the way we ought to live this life? What's the way we ought to go through life and kind of treat these issues or even address these issues, or do we just ignore them altogether? Of course, I don't know, man. Yeah, it's a very profound song, and I'm very happy with JayJiggy here. This might be my favorite one that we've listened to in a while. This might be my favorite song.
Bitte sag's mir. Bitte sag's mir. Bitte sag's mir. Bitte sag's mir.
Yes, dude. Nice, man. For more love, for more empathy, for more Mitgefühl? Like, understanding? Bravo. Wow. Wow. The 30 seconds of blackness, darkness. Talk about dramatic effect. That's powerful. I think it's like kind of like a moment of silence, right? Wow. That's some shit, man. That's some powerful, powerful shit, dude. Jesus, I love that, dude. I really, this fires me up. This, I mean, I love that.